Very funny gentleman, Mr. Jackie Gayle.
I guess now he'll go to a phone booth and change to his real outfit. Good to see you. Still a jockey? First time I ever met Lenny, I'll never forget, it was in New York. And in those days, he wasn't the Lenny you see now. He was doing the impressions. He was doing a Humphrey Bogart, and he wore the dinner jacket, you know. And I was going to work in a place in Waterbury, Connecticut. And he told me, you won't need 2 rooms. The singer on the show is a real nympho. She won't leave you alone. She was there for 6 weeks. The 7th week I went, there's a new girl waiting with her mother with the hair in her face and the cracked sunglasses. And they both had huge crosses outside their dress. Forget about getting late. At least you know bats won't attack the car. I'm going to tell you something. It is craziness going on today. I've had some good breaks in my life. You know, I've had some shakings. Steve Allen was always nice to me. I got to say that. When he had his show, I worked it all the time. Merv, Joey Bishop was nice to me. Some people, you remember them. You should say these things when they're nice to you. Because a lot of them, you can't do the shows, you know, you can't be kidding. Some like you, some don't. 2 years, I was lucky I worked with Frank Sinatra. He actually took me to Hoboken and showed me the manger where he's born. I'll tell you a true story. I was working with Tommy Sands right after he got divorced from Nancy Sinatra Jr. And he was nervous. He didn't want to leave the hotel. He was paranoid, like Frank Sinatra was going to come after him or something, which is nonsense. You know, 2 weeks he would not leave the building. The 3rd week he started to relax and he said to me, let's go for a ride. I said, you start the car. I mean, it's all nonsense. I'm telling you, it's craziness. The whole world is getting to be crazy. Except here, you have to look at the show business, how it's changing. Everything is changing today. I just saw the president on TV. You know, Ronald Reagan has the same haircut as Woody Woodpecker. Did you ever notice that? They had the same barber at Warner Brothers. Well, what do you think anybody want to be the president for? Even the Democrats. Hart's got a daughter to marry off. Mondale's got a daughter to marry off. Ronald Reagan, did his daughter just get married for the 3rd time, or am I making that up? Did Richard Nixon marry off 2 girls, Trish and Julie? Lyndon Baines Johnson married off 2 girls. The little one's cute. That big klutz never would have dated George Hamilton. She had a shoe size like Ray Nitschke. Harry Truman, it took him 4 years to dump that barracuda he had. Looked like Ernest Borgnine in the dress. Go to Russia, Brezhnev. You ever see his daughters cook naked in the lumber camp? Nobody to look up. I'm a little nervous tonight, too. I had a weird dream, you know. I had this weird dream. I swear, I dreamt I was in hell, and I was making love to the ugliest woman in the world. She was even ugly from the back. I mean, she was ugly, you know. It's like the old joke, coyote ugly. Rather than wake you, you'll chew off your arm. You know what I mean? And I see the devil. And I look at him, I say, what did I do to deserve this? He says, you're on my shit list. And I look next to me, there's Jackie Vernon making love to Bo Derek. I says, Jackie Vernon, Bo Derek? Yeah, she's on my shit list too. I'm going to tell you something. I was in Las Vegas, and this hooker came up to my room, and she started to, I said, how much? She said, $100. And she started to take off her blouse, and she had a Jewish star. I says, you're Jewish and I'm Jewish. How can you charge me $100? She says, okay, for you it's 75, but I'm not making a dime on you. But I'll tell you one thing Lenny did for me. Years ago, I was in San Francisco, and I was appearing there, and it was the saddest period in my life. I was in love with this girl, and I lost the job where I was appearing. And Lenny was working there at the Hungry Eye. And I went over to see Lenny, and we had a drink. And he says, what are you worried about? You'll get another job, Jackie. Just keep working at what you do. There's other places. Go see your girlfriend. And I had this Ford convertible Elite, the Sunline. I'll never forget it, red. I know you don't care about the color, but I have. And I drove over to her house. It was a rainy, windy day. And she said, look, I'm not crazy about you. I never liked you that much. And really, you think I'm brash and I yell a lot, but underneath I'm very insecure. In fact, 5 minutes after I was born, I was yearning for the good old days. And I got in this convertible, and I was driving down the hill, and I was never so depressed in my life. I was the saddest moment of my life. When God, bring her back to me, please, God. I'm going to die without her. Please help me. I'm going to kill myself. Please. And all of a sudden, I stepped on the brakes, and I had no brakes. And I didn't give a shit about her anymore. That's right, like God saying, what do you want, the brakes to the broad? Good night.